experience.
Yes.
Behind anything and everything, what is most important is to develop a right relationship with the rest of our co-creations. So for that, individual to individually, when we say, it might initially give us some answer, but if it has to be sustaining, we should try to see the common factor in all of us. Otherwise, the real harmony cannot become a reality. So how do we do that? We have not realized that. The common, we have intellectually understood. So now, in whatever field we are put in, family, profession, society, we try to bring, we try to give topmost priority to develop right relationship with the rest of the people. Right relationship means, first of all, I should know that all are significant, all are important, all are related to me. Nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. Because our masters say that God is there in everybody. Though we have not realized, we have faith in their words. To remind us, we choose any sadhana. For us, the sadhana is Nama chanting. Nama chanting is for remembrance of this factor. And so everywhere, in every place, we try to develop this harmony. Wherever this harmony is there, the right relationship is there, everything is there, success, everything comes. You have to just go back to your own life and see those, bring before your mind such situations where when you felt, you have been successful, it was because, not because of only you, it was because of the wonderful contributions so many people or so many situations or so many objects have given. Before, we have already shared this, but it will be relevant again, so we repeat that experience. Many decades ago, when we were working, at that time our monthly turnover was 2 lakhs. So the manager called and said, can you make it 5 lakhs? It must have been 62. To think about that itself is a difficult thing. But when the manager says, we did not think twice. We only said, if you can bring all these items, we will be able to reach the target. Then he said, you give us the intent. That has to be procured from the head office. And on those days, everything has to be done manually, no computer. So we prepared the intent, gave it to the manager, and he saw to it that all those things are sent to us by the head office by 29th or 30th of that month. 30th, we have to reach the target. So as soon as the delivery challan has to be prepared manually, invoice has to be typed manually, everything has to be done manually. When you type it out, to arrest any clerical mistake, one has to go through line by line, the spare parts name, the rate, the calculation, because everything is done manually. Just imagine. As soon as the information came from head office that they are dispatching, immediately we get the information, and then we start doing the allocation, and immediately delivery challans were prepared. Items we have not yet received, and on the 29th or 30th, when immediately the box is opened, after verifying the stocks, we distribute and then again repack and immediately prepare delivery challan, get it typed out, invoice is typed out, we get the figure. So it was all going on, a coordinated effort. And finally, by 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, we were able to hit the target. Now, when we go through that, what happened? Nobody was bothered about what is our. It was purely because of the right relationship the manager had with all of us. We had an emotional bonding with him. So when he says something, nothing else comes to our mind. And see that right relationship with others made us to feel not at all tired. It was hectic. The present day generation will not be able to conceive because everything had to be done manually. Absolutely no other thing. Everything has to be done manually. And for every day, not 8 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours, nobody bothered about anything. Because immediately after the manager never knew that it would be possible. He just casually said we took it up seriously and then everything was done. Immediately he telephoned to head office and he arranged for 2 buses. All our friends, we were to, he told head office people that book them for the first class hotel. My boys are coming, they have done something which nobody can do. And we were put up in the best hotel, Woodlands. And then we were taken round, went to the factory. When we went to the factory in charge was there to receive us. It is nothing on a superficial plane. The bonding. Even after nearly 60 years, we are remembering, why? Because that pleasant feeling, which came out only because of the right relationship. Nobody felt any fatigue. Nobody had any grumblings or complaints. Anything opposite to harmony, disharmony, it was not at all there. Many, many instances. Every one of us would have gone through. We have to on that day, what we thought, we were seeing from individual to individual. We were not becoming aware of this value. So where harmony, when we are talking about harmony, the first and foremost thing that comes to our mind is, there is no bossism here. It is a collective effort. We will not grumble, complain. Everybody has only that ideal. So similarly, if we develop right relationship at home, there may be many areas where we may not agree with everybody. They may not agree with our mindset. It is all natural. Suppose we take it that it is a natural phenomena, we will not take it anything seriously. Though when we may have to hold on to certain principles of our own, but at the same time we will ensure that it doesn't wound, it doesn't affect our relationship with others. So whether at home or in the field of profession or with friends, if we develop right relationship, giving in, right relationship means what? Accommodating everybody. When we try to do this, to some extent we will get this harmony, but it may not be sustaining unless and until we try to bring also that God, who is my actuator, who is the actuator of everybody. So we are all coming from the same origin. And we are what we are because of the factors other than us. So when He makes us to interact with others, we should know that we are interacting with Him only. Initially, intellectually. slowly, experientially. We may fail, we may forget. So Nama or whatever spiritual discipline we have, that will help us. Very often we used to read Papa's words, we try, as many times as possible, we try to remember these words. It is not a dictum or a dogma, it is something down to earth reality which we have to bring into our mind. The life principle that activates all being is the same. We all breathe the same air, walk on the same earth, and are equally entitled to the enjoyment of the amenities which nature provides. The earth yields its rich gift to all alike. The differences between man and man on the material plane are in truth unnatural and improper. For the component parts and composition of human bodies and its qualities inherent in them are not diverse and conflicting. If we look with the pure vision that belongs to an enlightened mind, we do not see any clear-cut line of demarcation that isolates man from man, one set of people from another, one nation from another. We are indeed parts of a stupendous whole. We are units that form the world community or family, so we can live and act as members of a world brotherhood or federation. So every early morning when we get up, when we identify with every object, minutest. Suppose we take the brush. We were able to find out that it was in 1700s. One Dr. Addis in US, he brought out the present first brush. So when I take the brush, I am enjoying, This has been brought to the world by somebody whom I don't know. Then when I take the paste, then when I go to the wash basin, when I see the tap, like that, each and every item we come to realize we have not done anything. And the person who discovered, invented, innovated has not specified that the beneficiaries. It is for everybody. So then I realize that disharmony comes to me only when the me and mine becomes predominant. So when I hold on to this me and mine, I am moving towards disharmony. Wherever I have compromised, you can see that, no? A mother compromises with her children. I keep on arguing for something, asking for something. Mother initially refuses, then mother gives in, no? Or even if she punishes me, after some time she somehow sees that I recognize her love for me, so it gets. There is no ill feeling there involved. Try to learn, how the harmony has been taught to us by our parents, our elders, our teachers, our colleagues. The simple answer will be that they have accommodated us. Kindly think about it. So along with that, we also think about that we have not brought anything and everything has been given by factors other than me. And later on, we also, when we try to, when we go to our spiritual guru, he says, in anything and everything only he is there. So ultimately, God is providing everything to me through his various creations. And so, am I not bound to develop a harmonious relationship with his creation? Whenever I fail or forget, immediately I pull back and try to undo damage, whatever I have done. Think about it. In everybody's life, suppose we bring the harmony, or it has existed wherever, we have accommodated everybody. We have reconciled with the situation. We have given in. And when I was telling about manager, no, because we had an emotional bonding with him. So similarly, the person who is manning the whole show, suppose in him all these things are explicit, it see the cascading effect it has in all subjects. One individual's life, inspiring life, it touches and kindles this harmony aspect in us. Loyalty, sincerity, efficiency, vigilance, dedication, all these things come out because of the right relationship. Even the very language is very important. No? Can we do it? No, you should do it. There's a difference. On important days, when on those days, canteen, no, local cell, everybody will come. 2,000 to 2,500 people will be fed on that day. Morning, when Kannan, he will come with coffee to Puja Swamiji's room. We will all be there. So suppose it is Papa's Sannyas Day, for example, or Jayanti Day. Swamiji will ask, what will he ask? For how many people we can cook in a loving manner. Then he will say, can we give payasam? What payasam can be done? It is not that today you have to prepare for 1,500 people, no. And he means they are the people who have to work. So whatever is possible is okay for them. And they will say, everything is okay, 2,000 people, okay. We are watching the whole thing, many, not once or twice. It will be repeated again and again on an important day. എത്ര പേര് കൊടുക്കാനാവും in Malayalam, Swamiji will ask. For how many people we can prepare. It is not for, the superficial. Every word comes from his heart. And the other people will acknowledge it, And the whole, they take it up. By the time the last show, it will be 3 o'clock. By the time we come back for food, it will be 3 o'clock. We are learning, what is harmony. The right relationship paves the way for developing harmony. Anywhere. So all that we have to do is God has given this lesson to all of us. The only thing is, at that time, we have only attributed this to that individual. He was very nice, later we will say. Now you try to connect up. It is made possible only because the me and mine was less and less, and we were not holding on to our standpoint. Wherever we give in, harmony prevails. ashram life. There, ashram seva. On another occasion, Puja Swamiji wrote these words, but it is applicable to all of us during all the time. Great saints have established ashrams and mutts for the benefit of the present and future generations, to help them walk on the path of Dharma, lead a life of love and service, and ultimately reach the supreme goal they themselves have reached. The management of such institutions eventually gets passed on to their trusted disciples or followers, who are expected to follow the path of Dharma and the guidelines set by the Master. It is natural and possible that among the disciples or followers there may arise differences of opinion. Such differences should not be allowed to develop so far as to create serious situation, but discussed and settled lovingly, smoothly. Those who are engaged in the management of spiritual institutions have started with the noblest ideals of complete dedication and the highest aspiration to realize the supreme goal of life. These high ideals can be worked out only if they engage themselves in intense sadhana. As otherwise, the right attitude to be adopted cannot be maintained, and there may be lapses, making them slip down, causing at the same time disharmony and unpleasantness. This will adversely affect their spiritual progress on their march toward the goal and the quality of their service. Such lapses are subtle and take place so unconsciously that when detected, it becomes too late to correct. The causes for such lapses are often due to desire to take the leadership, hesitation to accept the joint decision of the group, lack of desire to maintain the solidarity of the group and to work out the ideals of the institution as directed by its founder, self-assertion, lack of humility, lack of sacrifice of petty and personal interests in total disregard to the common interest of the institution, lack of love and regard for one another. All these happen due to the slackness in sadhana and the resultant drying up of devotion to and respect for the founder. That means whenever I unknowingly violate this, I am going against the wishes of my Guru. If I am reminded this, I will try to maintain. Again, he says, if these are remembered and lived up to, there will be perfect unity, harmony, mutual love, mutual understanding, love and respect among all the devotees. In settling differences, never assert that your opinion is right and should be accepted by all. Give equal value to others' opinion also and submit to them unless they go against the ideals of the ashram and those recorded by the founder. When others express their opinion in words or actions, do not react immediately, but try to understand their viewpoint fully. Do not act hastily. Keep in mind always that the solidarity of the institution is more important than the working out of certain plans on which there are differences of opinion. Everyone concerned to therefore observe some restraint and must be able to sacrifice his views, notions, positions, status, and everything in the larger interest of the welfare of the institution, so that the sanctity, purity, and harmony, and above all, love may be maintained intact and the aims and ideals of the institutions are not lost. Everyone in the institution has to remember that his main responsibility is to think, speak, and act in consonance with the ideals placed before him by the Guru and thus serve the Guru. This will benefit him in his sadhana and also benefit all others who come in contact with him by their experiencing peace and happiness for which they are visiting the institution. Any lapse on their part will seriously affect in their own sadhana and also cannot give in peace and happiness to others, and thus go against the very purpose of the institution. In an ashram, there may be many problems cropping up daily. We can say in any family, we can say in any institutions. Our concern primarily should be how to solve the problems to the benefit of all concerned. If we get angry and shout at others, we fail. On the other hand, if we study the problems very carefully, having regard to others' difficulties, we will deal with them with such sympathetic calmness and will arrive at a satisfactory solution. It is not always necessary to spend money. Okay. An ashram is the ideal place where sadhakas can do a lot for their spiritual upliftment and also set a high standard in behavior by their own example. An ashram is the place where many devotees come in the hope of getting some peace and help in their spiritual quest. So every inmate of the ashram who regards himself as a spiritual aspirant should, in his own way, help everyone visiting the ashram to enjoy a sense of peace. For this, he or she should have achieved some measure of peace by strict spiritual discipline. In a family, we can make everyone happy only if you are anchored in pure love and identical interest. That should be more so in the ashram. Here we meet people with different cultural backgrounds. We should be able to accept them as our very own and treat them with love and consideration. When anybody comes, we should feel that God Himself has come in that particular form, seeking help materially or spiritually, and we should be prepared to help them. And he says there could be a barometer, no? Our success lies in dealing with them all with love, with no tinge of irritation, whatever may be their behavior. In this, we unfortunately fail often. But if we understand where and why we have failed, we will be able to do better the next day so that we may, instead of slipping down, progress fast in our sadhana. And the next day is very important for all of us. Every day is a day of examination for us. And we have to judge ourselves. For this, we should evaluate our day's performance every night before we go to bed. These are the questions we can ask ourselves. Is the pull to lower nature less strong? Has our ego become less assertive? Is there sincere regret for having hurt the feelings of others? Are we less critical of men and things? Are we able to give love for hate and anger? Are we able to forgive others for their trespasses? Is the aspiration to realize God becoming stronger and more intense? Is the devotion to God increasing? Has our mind expanded so much as to enable many more to be the recipients of our love and service? Are we able to give happiness to more and more persons? Have we become more humble? Are we able to appreciate better the good done by others? Are we able to submit to God's will easily? This barometer reading will help us to know where we have gone wrong. The reason for the mistake is often slackness in our sadhana. So we were talking about harmony at home, harmony with friends. The same is applicable for every field. So the first and foremost thing is that we develop right relationship with everybody. We are doing Ramnam, we may do bhajan, we may be doing this seva, that seva. Everything is okay. But are we in a position to accommodate those with whom we have differences? The manager of an institution, he may not be having any clerical work. You will find his table always clean. You know why? In him, each and every staff, their life occupies the mind space. So when somebody is quarreling between each other, he will call both of them and tell them, in a way that they would understand. The same thing at home. In one house, in one devotee's house, The father and mother, they were struggling to make both ends meet. At that time, one of his sons was studying in a school which is about 1.5 kilometers or 2 kilometers from house, so they can go from home. One day the son comes and tells the father that I will not be able to pass my exam if I am in this school. So please put me in a school which is about 5 to 8 kilometers away. In that case, he has to go by bus and come back by bus. So every day the father has to shell out money. You know what the father said? Okay. He went to the school, got the TC, went to the other school, got him admitted. Many people said, what are you doing? After 2 or 3 months, the son came back and told father, sorry, I shouldn't have done. Mistake was mine. Because I remembered, not that anybody who goes to that school does not pass. Everybody passes. So something is wrong with me. I shouldn't have told that. So please put me back. Then he said, okay, having admitted you, carry on till March. After next academic year we can. See the way in which it was handled. Suppose the son comes and says, I will not get it, I will not pass in this if I am studying in this school. Immediately suppose the father sits and says, everybody is studying there. Are they not passing? Something is wrong with you. Do you think the child will, the son will correct himself? So with all the limitations the parent has, the father has, he immediately, for the sake of this, he should be happy. He should be at peace. Otherwise, there will be total disharmony at home. No? So the methodology employed by him is to give consideration for all this. At his level, he has conditioned mind where he finds he will not. So later on he will realize. When he realizes, there is harmony. When you impose, there is disharmony. Many instances we will be able to quote in different fields. The 2 or 3 months back we said, when we were in the on a conference, employers and employees, coffee estate employees and employers. They wanted a hike in their wages, so entire produce has to be surrendered to coffee board, so they know the price ultimately, and the productivity also changes. So at one go, if there is a hike in wages, nobody will be able to carry on with that. So there was a tug of war, there was a lot of argument. So ultimately the government, the Labour Secretary called for a conciliation conference. So we all represented. We were representing the employers, the union were representing. Heated arguments were going on. At one time, one of the employer, said something which it was a slip of the tongue. The other people got irritated. Challenge was there, open challenge. We will not allow any estate to function. Then these people said, we know how to function. All those things, unpleasant situation. So an elderly estate owner got up, said, please sit down, please sit down, please sit down. He made everybody to sit down after a lot of persuasion, and he made a brief speech. It changed the whole atmosphere. He said, coffee estate means if it has to survive, it has to depend upon bodily labor, which can come only from laborers. So we exist because of you. You exist because of us. Both of us are interconnected, interrelated. We cannot challenge each other. There is a genuine demand for the hike because the cost of living is going up and down. Now, you know how much every one of us get. You know what are the cultural operations that are to be carried out in a day. Please sit down. You appoint a small committee, 2, 3 people from this and 2, 3 people from that. Let them go through the statistics. And if there is any possibility by which it can be hiked, then it can be done also. Think about it. And a token increase will definitely be given by everybody. Rest of the things, an ad hoc relief, not token, ad hoc relief. That offer, changed the whole atmosphere. They started thinking, correct, how can they give? If they only get this much, how can they give? Everything got toned down, and there was harmonious atmosphere. Everything went off peacefully. 1 hour back, it was like a war. So then he taught us, by that when we accommodate judicious, not for the sake of any polishing, not an artificial, or whatever you call, untruth, nothing. He identified himself with the other party and requested them to identify with their stand. And if there is a common ground where we can meet, and then find out a way together to get over this impasse. And it worked. Not only it worked, it restored back the harmonious relationship. So harmony at home, harmony with friends, harmony at workplace. It can come only by, number one, developing a proper right relationship where we try to accommodate, we reconcile to a very great extent with others. Every individual is potential good. There may be something in them which we may not agree. But suppose we only look at what we disagree, then disharmony. When we look at the whole individuality and there are some place where we disagree, then the harmony will be there, though differences will be there. And as students of Beloved Papa, we know that God is testing us. To what extent we hold on to the me and mine. The moment we try to relax our hold, you will find harmony already coming up. You can go back to all your previous life, and then this is not a dictum or a dogma or a theory. Everyone has been blessed with this opportunity. We have not applied with this sense, that's all. Everywhere, all of us have worked, All of us come from families. All of us have friends. In all these places, not that we are always at war with others. Think about it. So it is not a theory. God has taught us many things. We would not have taken the learnings, that's all. And as spiritual children, we know that love is the base for everything. And love means absence of otherness. So to what extent we accommodate everybody in our mind is directly related to the harmonious relationship we maintain with others. We have one more advantage because Papa's, Mataji's and Swamiji's teachings, Not, I don't say it by the word teachings only the words of wisdom. They are very life. And similarly, when we try to see the same ideal in others in our life, God has made us to get in touch with, then it gets proved, It doesn't mean that I may be 100% perfect, but whenever I go off the line, I shouldn't have done it like that. And I compensate in a different way, not carrying any prejudice against that person. And trying to make them feel that we love them. Not by words, but by our deeds. And we also try to accept that each individual is unique, and therefore each individual's rights and wrongs and likes and dislikes all differ. This is the nature. But for harmony, I have to relax my hold on this me and mine. Whenever we find it difficult to actualize this in our life, we have to pray. We have to intensify our sadhana to give us the mindset, the needed mindset. It cannot come from outside. It has to come from within. If suppose an instruction comes from outside, it probably outwardly, we may not do that, but inwardly we are still restless, disharmony. We are having disharmony with that person or situation. So the only thing is we pray to the Guru within. Kindly guide me, I am unable to. I find it difficult. You are there in that form, but when you behave in that form, it is very difficult for me to accept it like that. Then mysteriously we will get the guidance intuitively, and we will be able to move forward. So the topic which you have placed is very nice. It is directly related to the workaday life. Harmony at home, harmony at workplace, harmony with friends. This is the cumulative effect of all our sadhana. When we say a Mahatma, in that Mahatma is the care and concern for as many people as possible is there in their mind, not holding on to the me and mine. That is the difference. Many years ago, we had gone to this Dharmasthala temple. Lot of people, heavy rush. But even when we move in the queue and we are in front of the deity, the people who are manning the whole show, how courteous and loving they are, That's why we remember even today. Swalpa mundige hogtira. Will you please move forward? In a loving tone. They will not say, go, go, go. People are waiting. That paste of harmony, They have come all the way to have the darshan. So many people are there, but they also need, They should not go with a hurt mind. All these considerations for a person who is working there as an employee, but very courteous, very loving. If we start observing these things, God is making us to observe, The world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer us immense possibilities for self-improvement. Nay, the world itself is Guru or God. At that time, I would not have taken it as a lesson. But when my Guru says that all these things have been given to you only so that you can refine yourself, then now we stitch one by one, one by one, one by one. So even in a humble way, a person who is having what do you call this, watchman job, he can touch and kindle this great sublime principle in us. Many instances. How they handle one by one. Even when the food is served, in many places, how much pain they take to see that they are given. It is not a ritual like giving. So whenever, all of us knowingly, we will not commit anything that will hurt others. But there may be many things we unknowingly do that, holding on, because our mind will justify that this is right. But definitely a discussion. That is why he is causing this discussion in Satsang. Because this is a time where we try to, the barometer which he said, we are trying to evaluate ourselves. and then we try to correct. This is the real purpose of satsang, where the fine tuning goes on a sustaining basis, not one day and 2 days. Every day there is, in our case, Papa is giving us every day through many of his writings, tries to touch and kindle these noble values, so that ultimately our life becomes harmonious, our life becomes peaceful. Suddenly we remember what all you have done to us. I did not know the real purpose of all these things. At that time, I felt gratitude towards that organization or the chief, but I never knew that it is a lesson for me. It is going on. He made me to watch, In Guruvayur also we had that big crowd. So when we were there, and some senior citizen, will you please wait for 15 minutes? That's okay. We will arrange for it. So we were waiting not 15 minutes, it was 30 minutes. When everybody was in that form, everybody was there, then he said, people have been waiting, please wait. Then we were let in. To him, everybody is equal. But they will get tired, Right from morning till evening, thousands and thousands of people have to be accommodated. They should be put on line. And boredom will be there. Drudgery will be there. Weariness will be there. But still we found how lovingly he says, can you please wait for 15 minutes? Let these. Now when you ask this harmony, we are touched and kindled all those things. So similarly, whenever we are in doubt, we have to just go back to our own life. We have not learned it we have it as memorized it as or recorded it as a learning. Now we are trying to understand it as a learning. We don't have to go anywhere. Initially, we may need some examples, that's all. So it's a wonderful topic. We may not get the full meaning of this, but broadly speaking, I become peaceful and I become happy only there is harmony everywhere. That much I know, Initially, when I hold on to one particular views and somebody says you are right, even then, in the heart of the heart, we may feel. A spiritual aspirant will always feel, have I hurt others? The other day we were sharing, you remember, when Swamiji saw people talking outside the ashram bhajan hall, and he, in very, unlike what he generally does, he gave out in a stronger way that celebrations are only for intense remembrance, not for chatting it outside, all those things. When we came out, like a child, he was telling, was it too strong? Then we said, Swamiji, you have to tell us many a time, then only we will realize. And because you say, nobody will get prejudiced. If somebody says, they may say something. Because they know that you say only because for our welfare. So you please keep on telling this. Even then, Swamiji felt, was it too strong? Because his intention was not to hurt anybody, to point out. So harmony, these are all things, which adds to maintenance of harmony. In Bhagavad Gita, he says, you remember, in the 18th chapter, Satyam Vada, Priyam Vada, even if you have to tell the truth, it should be told in a loving way. He says about no. Speech which causes no vexation, which is true, as also agreeable and beneficial. Though a thing is true, do not say it out since it is apriyam or unpleasant. Suppose there is a blind man or woman, do not address him or saying, "Oh, blind person." It is satyam, but it is extremely apriyam. You are only causing anguish in the mind of that blind person. Whatever is true must be spoken, but try to bring happiness and cheer to people through your speech. However, do not speak what is untrue, though it is unpleasant. That should not be done. That is the instruction given by Manusmriti. Your speech should not excite other people. Don't disturb their peace of mind. Try to speak in that way. That is the first element of tapas of speech. Similarly, that speech should be true, satyam, never speak what is not true. That is the second quality. And then priyam, what is pleasant to hear. And hitam, which is meant for the listener's welfare. Priyam and hitam go together. It is nice to hear and it is also good for the listener's development. Vangmayam. Vangmayam tapas. So let us try, let us try our best, because the harmony, now I know that the harmony lies, harmony at home, harmony at workplace, harmony with friends, they lie only in my tongue. The way in which I say, recognizing everybody as important, greater than me, but a prompting comes, we have to share. Suppose we are sitting in an organization where we have to give them some instruction. Suppose we don't bring in this authority, but instead of that, all are equal. This is another aspect in harmony, maintaining harmony. All are equal. We are first in equal, that's all we can see. All are equal, that should be there. So that we don't belittle, demean anybody. If we are in a position to maintain this at home, in workplace, and with our friends, to a very great extent we can ensure harmony. Kindly go back to your own life. There you would have found, if any of our thoughts, words and deeds are not in line with this, we would have been subjected to experience disharmony. Wherever we have found we are in peace with others, that means we could harmonize with others. What did we do? What did they do? This reflection will definitely help us. But that doesn't mean we will be able to implement it. So along with that, our Ram Nam and our prayer. Because Ram Nam constantly hammers that he is there in entirety and perfection. He is equal there in everybody in entirety and perfection. So we respect everybody, we value everybody. Any suggestion? And once we have established our relationship with others, none of our talks, words or deeds would damage the relationship. When we have become very close, when we have understood each other, when each one will not get tainted or get prejudiced because of whatever we say or do, when that relationship is developed, that nothing matters. Even if we say something, it will not be treated as a bad word. That means that the harmony has been established, concretized. So nothing else matters. All these things we learn not from Shastras, I tell you. They help us. Later on only, we come across with Shastras. First, God gives us teaching, right away, straight away experiences. And He does not make us to realize that it is a lesson. We consider it as an incident. Certain incident about which we are happy, certain incidents which we are not happy. And later on, when the Guru draws us, and when he tries to make us to think on these lines, then we try to connect up all these things. Then only we try to realize that those were lessons, teachings. Suchidanand Ji Maharaj says, daily life and daily sadhana. So daily life is the field where we can try to understand this. We don't have to go to somebody's field. Our own life. If we are unable to get on with others, instead of blaming them, now we try to realize something is wrong with me. I may not be able to get rid of it, but I know that slowly you will find. We had many instances like this. Toning down starts. They realize, not because somebody has told, they themselves realize. That means the Guru is slowly opening the aperture and making them to have a glimpse. So as we keep on doing our sadhana more intensely, we have been promised by Mahatmas that whenever we go off the line, we will be pulled up and put us on the rails. I think that is enough for harmony at home, harmony with friends, harmony at workplace. It can be ensured by developing a proper relationship with everybody. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram.